Hi everyone, welcome back to my very soggy kitchen. It's Sunday afternoon at 3:20 and it has been raining torrentially here for 3 days, virtually without stopping. Today has been the worst. It has rained with the wind so strong that the rain comes in horizontally, so everything everywhere is wet. But to make things worse, 2 days ago a leak started dripping in my kitchen, and so it hasn't been very good around here. It's just been very stressful, and I'm not a happy chappy. Not even my dolls made me feel better, because I just worried about everything. I've got water coming through some cupboards in the kitchen. I've moved everything. Everything's in a huge mess in the kitchen. And actually a minute ago the light was flickering, the light that we're using now to look at these gorgeous babies. So that might be ready to the electricity might be ready to give out. I know that's happened in lots of areas, but so far I've had electricity and been so grateful for that, seeing as I've got leaks and buckets and stuff catching all the drips. I've had 3 lots actually of men out. I'll tell you about that. The first lot were from the SES, which stands for the State Emergency Services, and they are largely volunteers, and what they do is if a tree has fallen on a car or on your house, on your roof or anything like that, they can come out, they do come out with special equipment and chop up the tree and make your house safe. So they would put a big tarpaulin over the back of it. So what I did was I rang them about the leak that I had, and they came out. First they assess it on the telephone, and then they come out and have a quick look, and then if they need to send a crew out again, they do. So 2 people in their big SES regalia, which is like, they wear orange so you can see them easily, and these ones had huge big boots on and big helmets and brought a tall ladder. So they were the first people to come, and they looked on my roof and they thought it was probably a build-up of leaf litter and silt up there that was forcing the rain upwards and then down into a join between 2 types of roof. So they moved the leaf litter for me down a couple of inches, and they said that should be okay, but I will need to get someone to clean the roof off. So the dripping did stop for a short while, maybe, I can't remember now, a short while, and then it started up again, and I managed to find, that was Friday, so I managed to find someone who would come out. No, that wasn't Friday, that's right, because I went to bed and thought, okay, it's fixed now, I don't have to worry. But when I got up in the morning, I got up at 3 in the morning because there was a really loud drip sound. What I've got is a bucket on top of my kitchen cupboard under where the drip is happening, but it's so high up that I can't let too much water go into the bucket, because then I can't get it down, and I'm getting it down with one of those extender kind of arms, for people who can't reach things from the floor. I can reach things from the floor, but I can't reach things from up high, and it's quite long and it's not particularly strong, so it's very hard to actually lift anything heavy. So I had to keep emptying that bucket every hour, but then when I went to bed thinking that the drip had stopped, I was happy until 3 in the morning, and then of course I tried to get the bucket off and tipped water all over me and all over everything. The kitchen, everywhere was covered in water. Anyway, that drip is better. That one seems to have stopped because, so what happened was Saturday I woke up to the drip still happening. I had to go to work for a couple of hours to do a course, and then, oh no, I'm completely confused because today is Sunday and I haven't had any men here today. Okay, got it now. So it didn't stop dripping for very long after the SES had been here, and so I had to hunt around and find someone who would come and clean my roof in this hideous weather, like seriously. Finally, I found two boys who worked for a gutter company, and they said they would come, but only for a minimum amount of hold your breath, $200. So I didn't have a choice. I said, okay. So it nearly killed me, but they came and they cleaned all the leaves off. And luckily these days with mobile phones, of course, they can take a before and after picture, which they did. And they took all the leaves away in a big, rubbish bag. So it's not like in the old days when people used to used to do a trick and say, oh yes, we fixed your roof, and they hadn't done anything. Now they have to take, well, they don't have to, but they seem to take these photos. So it's brilliant, they've done the job. So I gave them their $200, which I'm glad they came. So, and that's when I went to bed thinking it's fixed now, and then, the 3 o'clock in the morning thing. And then so yesterday, while I was at work, my children did lots of ringing around trying to find someone who would get up on the roof and actually find out what's going on, because moving the leaves, all the leaves and the litter up there hadn't fixed the problem. So two boys, or men I suppose they are, from a roofing company came in this shocking weather. They were already saturated, poor things, and they went up there and they said, well, it's not coming from where everyone is saying it's coming from. It's actually, they went and had a look at the tiles, and there was a bit, it's called a ridge capping, where there's a row of like curved sort of upside down V's almost, that cover where two different angles of tiles meet. And one of those ridge capping tiles had lost its cement and had slipped down, and that's where the rain was getting in. So he moved it back into place but couldn't cement it because it's too wet. They can't do that till the weather has dried out. So it's a temporary fix. I don't know how long it's going to hold. It just needs that tile to stay in place. I'm very nervous about that. So the high up drip has stopped, and now I'm getting a drip through the cupboards, which isn't much fun. So I've had to move everything, and I've got like cooking trays underneath catching that drip, but that seems not to be stopping at all. That just continues all the time. At least I can easily reach that. I've just got the tray sitting on the bench top, so I'm not nervous about that. That's okay. But if the electricity goes out, plus there's a bit on my carport that's about to smash down. There's some guttering that's completely it just can't stand the pressure anymore of all the water and the wind. So I've moved the car back, and we'll see what happens there. Anyway, it's been a miserable few days. This rain is unbelievable, like seriously torrential all the time. It's just awful. And so we've gone really from everything burning, thick smoke, boiling hot, to not hot and not cold, it's just medium weather. As far as the temperature goes, about 23, which I think is sort of 70-something, 71 or 72. I didn't look that up, I'm just guessing. So it's quite, the temperature's okay, but it's just what's outside is just shocking. The poor birdies are absolutely soaked through. They don't know what to do with themselves or where to go. I don't know what they're doing. They keep coming onto my back deck, but now my back deck is saturated because the rain was coming in on such an angle. It's really, really bad. There's major flooding. People have no electricity. It's just, oh my goodness, it's just awful. And there's meant to be more tomorrow, so I don't know when it's going to end. I haven't checked the weather report because you just kind of go minute by minute in a way, really. Anyway, so I've been pretty miserable here. More miserable than I would have imagined, seeing as I love the rain. And I've been through much harder things in my life than this. Really, I have. This is just a leak in my kitchen. So, with the potential of leaks coming up all over the place, the roofman said that there's so many broken tiles and things up there that the leaks are going to, they're going to come in other spots. But my children are getting together to help me to pay to get the roof fixed when the weather gets better and dries out. So I have very, very special children, but I do. But we all do, don't we? We all think that of our kids. But I can say about my kids that I think they're wonderful. Yeah, don't know what I'd do without them, really. They're fantastic. But as I said, it's really, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's a little bit bad and a little bit scary, but it just, I don't know, it's really got to me. Partly because I can't reach that bucket properly, so that made me really worried. I thought, I can't go to sleep if it's going to fill up, because then I can't get it down, and I don't know, it just kind of highlighted all my vulnerabilities all in one hit. And normally when I'm in the house I'm fine, because so long as I just watch my balance and things, I'm okay. But all of a sudden, there was water where it shouldn't be and things out of my control, and I had to have groups of people coming in to fix things, and strange people who you don't know what they're going to do, you don't know what they're going to charge, and all of that kind of stuff. So it has been really horrible and has made me quite stressed, which isn't my normal state, I have to admit. And I've got the backup of my friends and my kids, but still, I don't know why it got to me so much, but it has. Anyway, as I said, I've put up with much, been through much, much worse things in my life. Much greater losses than a bit of water in the kitchen. Anyway, so let's now talk about, because I don't normally say all that kind of thing, do I? I hope I haven't upset too many of you. It's just that it's good to be able to say it all to someone. I've told my children a bit that I'm nervous and worried and stressed and can't sleep and all of that stuff, and they just say, Mum, don't worry, we'll look after everything. But I'm still worried, so it's good to be able to tell my friends. So thank you all for being here for me. I really appreciate it. And I haven't even felt like doing anything with any of my dolls, but I just decided this is ridiculous. I want to put these rompers on, these two angels. So I did, and I'm so happy I did, because look at them. Honestly, these kits are just the most stunning things. I love these babies so much. I absolutely love them. So in case you're new and you don't know who they are, this one is Twin A, sculpted by Bonnie Brown, and I've called him Jonty. And this one is Twin B, sculpted by Bonnie Brown, of course, and I've called her Pippa. So that's my Jonty and my Pippa. And they're quite small dolls. They're only about, I always say I don't know exactly because I've never measured them, but I think they're about 17 inches, so like a small newborn. So if anybody else has a doll that's 17 inches and you don't know what size clothes to get them, they wouldn't have to be these ones, but any sort of 17-inch size. Let me tell you that European clothes have a size 50 that fits these guys perfectly. These rompers are size 50, and they're by Babidu. And if you're in Australia, then 50 is perfect for them. It's not quite premature size, but it's it's smaller than newborn, which is 40. And you guys in America will know what sizes you need. I think there's Carter's newborn that's quite small, and I don't know about American sizes, sorry. But so I haven't had any trouble getting clothes for these two. It's just been a pleasure, really. And sometimes I can get the more pricey things like these outfits, which are, did I say by Babidu? I think I did. I can sort of hear my voice saying that, but they are by Babidu. And then I have other things that I can get here that aren't. Well, it's not that they're not as pricey. I think everything sort of works out the same, but there's always postage with these things. Whereas I can just go and buy things in 50 for my babies. Anyway, so let me tell you about these beautiful rompers. They are the same romper, just in a different colour, okay? And it did come in a blue as well, which I decided not to get. And I've had these rompers for a couple of years now, so you would have seen them before if you've been with me for a while. So Jonty's is a gingham white, and it's like a light tan colour. And there's a central pleat in the middle. It's got short sleeves, elastic around the legs, which is my favourite thing with rompers. And then it's got a white cotton frill collar. So with it, he's wearing his white booties, and he's got a tan coloured bonnet, because me with my bonnets, well, they're not mine, I mean the baby's bonnets. I love bonnets so much that I have them in many different colours, and as soon as I put this on to Jonty, I thought, oh, I'm pretty sure I've got a bonnet that matches, and it's exactly the right colour. So that's what my little boy is wearing. And Pippa has the same romper on, which is a pink and white gingham. And so it's got the pleat down the middle, the short sleeves, the white ruffle collar, and the elastic around the legs. But they're both buttoned all the way down the back. And with Pippa, I've put on a pink knitted bonnet and pink knitted booties, both of which I bought at one of our doll shows from that wonderful woman who does the knitting that I've told you about. She loves making up patterns, she loves numbers, and so she loves creating all different patterns in different sizes for different plies of wool, and so she always has lots and lots of lovely things, and I love the finer the knit for me, the more I love it on the babies. I'm not keen on bulky knits on them just because they're so little. I kind of like the look of things being a bit big on them, but I'm not keen on thick wool knitted things, or I think that's why I'm not so keen on velour. Velour is nice if it's not too thick, and I think it's a bit better these days, isn't it? Maybe the old-fashioned stuff was a bit too thick. But I don't have much in the velour. I have a bit. Yeah, they have a few pieces. So that's what they're wearing, my two angels. I hope you like seeing them. Aren't they beautiful? Like, every time I get them out, or every time I see someone else on YouTube who has one of these, or both of these kits, I haven't seen anybody with both of them for ages, actually. Because they're old, I think people have kind of sold them on. Some people have them still, but not as many, of course, as when they first came out. They were very, very popular. Bonnie Brown is just a stunning sculptor. She just is amazing, absolutely amazing. So whenever I see anybody with these babies on YouTube, without even thinking, I just look at the baby, how you sort of glance first and think, oh, that's got to be a real baby. Like, the sculpting is so perfect and so in proportion, and the heads are just amazing. So, yeah, I'm really glad I decided to change them, and I'm so glad I'm talking to you guys, and I'm so glad the electricity is still on. Oh, it's a relief. It's a great relief. Now, I did get out a little doll, a little vintage doll that I thought you might like to look at, because it seems that you guys do quite like, or do very much like, other dolls, and certainly, I mean, I've been a doll collector for such a long, long time. Yeah, such a long, long time. I don't know how long. Ever since I was little, basically. And more seriously, probably for the last 35 years or more. So I have a lot of other sorts of dolls, but I just got this one, which I'm sure if you're in America, you will know this little doll, because she is an American doll. Let me show you what she looks like. She's very small, this one. She's about 11 inches. Oh, we might have to put her with the babies. How does she look there? Would you like me to move the baby so you can see this one better? Or is that okay? She's called a Dy-Dee baby. I'll bring her up closer now because that's a bit annoying, isn't it? Here's her little face. She's pretty cute. Open, closed eyes. Her head is made of something quite firm. I'm not 100% sure what it is. It could be a composition, and she's got moulded hair, which is my favourite thing. Dark brown moulded hair. She's got applied rubber ears. Can you see that? It's a little bit tricky. I might just, what can I do? What can I do? I don't know. I can't show you very well. Oh, that's a bit better. What if I do that? You can see, as well as her ears being rubber, her arms are rubber as well, and her little legs. Oh, squishy rubber. Squishy, squishy rubber. She was meant to be a little bathing baby. Now, it's so strange, but I don't know why she looks yellow. The rubber looks yellow in this light, but it's just a normal, like, brown skin colour rubber. But how weird. That must be because of the type of light that's up there. Let me see if I move her. No, she stays yellow. Oh, you poor little thing. Everybody thinks you've got yellow arms and legs. That is so weird, because that's completely not what she's like. Can you see the colour of the ear there? That's the colour of her, or slightly darker than her arms and legs. I don't know why the ears, I think the first ear came up a bit yellow, didn't it? Yeah, see, that's looking yellow there, and it's not. Let me just try and, must be where the light is. Still a bit yellow. Anyway, I'm so sorry. But there she is, this beautiful little girl. Did I tell you that she's called the Dy-Dee baby? And this one is an early one. So she's from about, I think, 1940. And her outfit is all original. She's got the cutest little outfit on. Let me see if I can show you what was standard with her. So that's the petticoat that came with the dress. But standard with her came this little t-shirt. Can you see that? Little t-shirt top. Let me bring it up a bit closer. And her little bird's eye nappy. And the shoes and socks, of course. She came with those. So that is her. She was made for bathing, and she was a little baby girl who the mummies could do everything that you would do with a real baby. See, she's got that hole in her mouth so she could have a bottle, and she's got a little plug in her bottom to let the water out. So yeah, she's a drink and wet baby basically, and she's very cute. So I just thought I'd show you her today. Thing is, I need cheering up. It's nice to talk about other dolls as well. I hope you like her. You can look up DyDee doll if you want to. It's Dy-Dee, DyDee doll. They were made well into the 50s. And I think they started in the 20s or 30s. So this even might be a 1930s one. I just can't quite remember. I'm sorry about that. But isn't she so cute? And what happens to these is that the rubber perishes. For some reason, this one hasn't, all her rubber's intact on her little legs and everything. It's all fine. So I've just been lucky. It really is the luck of the draw with these old dolls, because they used to use random mixtures to make them. That's why some composition dolls, hold up better than others. They just used to use random stuff in there, and it wasn't like quality control like now. And so some perish faster than others, and touch wood, this one's still good. But they're still beautiful, even if the rubber perishes. They're still really sweet dolls, and the heads don't alter, because that's something else altogether, made of something different. So let's see if I can get her eyes to close. You want to go to sleep, little girl? Let's see if she'll close them. She's got her full eyelashes there. That's what she looks like with her eyes closed. Pretty cute, hey? Pretty cute. Let me see if she'll open them. There, are they open? There, I think they're open. Come on, my little girl. I know you're tired because you've been alive for a long time. Oh, she's closed them again. Let's see if we can. There, we can see them a little bit. They're sort of a grey, bluey, browny colour. But isn't she a cute girl? I think she is. Anyway, my dear, sweet friends, thank you so much for being here and keeping me company and listening to that great, big, long story. Hopefully next time when I come to you, the rain will have finally stopped and give us a break. I've been wet so many times I can't tell you. Been saturated so many times the last few days. I have a raincoat because I can't carry an umbrella, so I have a raincoat. But it's only showerproof. It does nothing against this kind of stuff, which just goes straight through to my clothes. Now, I think I must have kept you long enough. I don't want to bore you any further, but thank you so much for keeping me company on this hideous Sunday afternoon. I really appreciate your company and that you've listened to me, if you have indeed. And so, my darling friends, until we meet again, please take care and be kind to each other. Bye-bye.